Let me tell you something that you won't hear from anybody else. Most crypto KOLs, key opinion leaders, who run a paid service or an indicator, they are telling their audience that the crypto bear market is starting. Now, I don't know what happens next. No one does. I don't know. I'm just going to explain to you that for all these crypto KOLs saying a bear market starting and to sell everything, I want you to know something, okay? They are not completely unbiased, holy, and pure. Even though they'll make it out to be. They'll say, oh, I'm the only one looking at the data. I'm the only smart one. They'll say, oh, I'm independent and everybody else is stupid. You're all sheep. I'm going to explain something to you, friends. They have a reputation to uphold, okay? They have a reputation to protect with their audience, which they rely on for income. And it doesn't necessarily have to be financial dollars as income. We get a dopamine hit, some sort of nice boost, self-esteem, morale, whatever it is, when people in the tribe tell you nice things, when they respect you. Do you know that, friends? We are built, DNA-wise, we are built to live in a tribe of about 200 people. We're not built for like massive cities DNA-wise. 200 people. We're built so that, the tribe leaders or the older, if they say something like, oh, you're a great part of the community, you actually feel good. You're needed. It's very important for markets. When we are listening to someone, we got to understand the perspective they're coming from. That's why markets, right? It's always a battle of the bulls and the bears. There is always a reputation to uphold. And remember, they need income from their audience. You need to give them that type of weight when you're basically listening to anyone. Okay? So what I do, friends, I don't have an opinion. I start zero. I don't care. I'm trying to just see where the price is and where I think value is. That's it. That's what I do, friends. That's why if you watch every other KOL, I'll watch them all, okay? A very common theme with them. They say, I don't watch anybody. I just stick to my own stuff. That's what they do, right? I don't do that. I think that's like playing a football match blindfolded. I want to know what the other person's doing. I want to know how they're thinking. If you're on a professional sports team and you're going to play another team, Liverpool versus Arsenal, they're going to be watching the tape. They're going to be watching replays. How do they defend on the left? How do they defend on the right? Yep. Even in esports, friends. You play Dota, you play Counter-Strike, you play League of Legends. What do you think all the professional teams are doing? They're literally just watching demo replays of the other teams, especially when it comes to a tournament. Always. They're always thinking about the decision tree. That's what actually gives you higher sports IQ, emotional IQ, financial IQ, adapting. You get it? So that's why I think it's important to understand, okay, who's bearish and why? Yeah. You got to remember, friends, like there's a stock market saying, and I'm sure you've learned it by now, yeah? Bears sound real smart. Bulls are the rich ones. Bears sound really smart, friends. Do you remember from The Big Short? Michael Berry? It's his, there was this amazing tweet that came out like a week or two ago. Big Short, Michael Berry, where they finally released the Big Short movie and it inspired all these like younger generation people who want to be like against the system. They watched it and then they think that they're going to be some autistic dude with like a bowl haircut who's going to go around and say, oh my gosh, I've just discovered everything's a bubble. Get short. I'm the genius. They dramatize this whole movie literally right at the foot of the greatest bull market of all time for the stock market. It is funny that like this tragedy, it's kind of like, friends, how they released the inverse So the short ETF for Bitcoin, they released it at the very, very, very bottom of the bear market in crypto. As soon as they released it, that was the bottom signal, and we went up only. Do you remember that? They literally released it at the bottom, which is hilarious. It was released, if I show you now on Bitcoin, right here. It was like released. Like, yes, here you go. Here, let's go release an ETF. Now you can finally get short. You gotta understand this game. That's why, friends, I know you watch me. I could be a total counter signal indicator myself. I'm useful for that, right? I have a method. You decide, is the method good, method bad? Could be. Methods can be good, friends, even if they're incorrect, because you do the inverse of them. So remember, these crypto KOLs, key opinion lesbians, they need income from their audience. They're not making money from buy and hold. They're not. You know who made money from buy and hold? Richard Hart. What services is he selling? Nothing. Where's his trading services? Where's private groups? Doesn't have them. You can't even contact him by email. He literally doesn't even want to be contacted. He's like, leave me alone. You get it? So, you know, but then you might also say, hey, but he released a token. That's what the Bitcoin maxis will say when it comes to that. Yeah, man, that's the risk we take. But let me tell you something. There are many Bitcoin maxis, tone gaze. This is Matthew Cratter. They sell trading services too. So they go, oh, you went and released an altcoin. But yeah, but they point one finger. They got three fingers pointed back at them. Like, bro, you're literally giving instructions on how 99 out of 100 people can lose money. Because trading has a 1% success rate in the 12 or 24 month period. 1%. All right? So no one's clean. We're just here to navigate. Yeah, we're here to navigate. That's it. It's kind of like you're a footballer. Maybe there's a defender. He's super aggressive. I remember Diego Maradona. I think once his shins basically got broken by, they call him the butcher of something. They actually called this guy the butcher. And he literally snapped his ankles, or he snapped Maradona's his ankles or something. So, you know, it's all about, it is a game. Right? We got to understand the players in here. That's what gives you the edge. Because remember, friends, what's the most important thing? Long-term confirmation indicators. That's the most important thing. If making money long-term is the key to winning, and that's where the most money is made, okay, so anything that is your long-term big macro indicator, that is as good as gold. So remember, a lot of these KOLs, they need an income from their audience. Who will, remember, they will only remain there, their audience, if their reputation is protected. It's funny, I'll hear some crypto KOLs, they'll say, oh, no, the crowd wants me to be bullish. No. And then what they'll say is they'll go, oh, every other person out there who's bullish is irresponsible. But no, they're mid-curving it themselves. We're all here in 2022. We all saw crypto go to shit. They have PTSD too. So they will err on the side of caution. It's better for them. That's what they're all doing, right? It's better for them to say, hey, I'm out. So just in case it goes down, I protected you. But if it goes up, what do? They're not held accountable for getting their audience to sell the bottom and then rebuy the top, even though now you have 40% less coins. They're not held accountable. That's what happens, friends, at the extremes of cycles. Maybe we'll see a big altcoin bottom. Maybe. At the extremes of that, you have too many people thinking the same way. That's why I show you like others BTC being extremely low. To me, it's extremely dangerous to give up completely on altcoins when there's just too many strong hands. Remember all these KOLs, they sell VIP groups, indicators, referral links, trade bots. Oh, come and trade a grid bot. Well, oops, did I get liquidated on the Chinese exchange cabal? How about my referral link? Come, 1% win rate. What about this indicator? Literally no edge. It's just the formula based off the price. It's not forward looking. Just tells you what the price did. All of them. The real indicators that have edge, not a single person is talking about them. All right. I mean, like one example, friends, I'll tell you, we had one that was literally milking money for a lot of people to trade. And he was using Bitfinex, give you an exchange. You could type it. If you lose, Bitfinex used to lead the crypto market back in 2019. Bitfinex in 2018 and 2019. All right. So about this 12 to 18 month period, Bitfinex would lead. So we had Bitfinex on a 1 minute candle, zoomed up. All right, I'll show you. This is it right here. So we'll type in Bitfinex, BTC USD, look at the spot, and then we'd have it like this, okay? This is literally one of our main indicators, yeah? And then randomly in the day, you might just see Bitfinex just do this huge red candle like that, all right? And then everyone gets short, yeah? Only lasted 12 to 18 months, right? Do you think we were, friends, do you think when we had this indicator, do you think the first thing we thought of to do was, I know, let me go tell 5,000 people on the internet? No. Kept our mouths shut, right? I wasn't even using Twitter back then. Didn't have Twitter or YouTube. I was just a noob. Well, I had no idea how crypto industry ran. I didn't even know the coin ranking sites. But yeah, that's just it. Yeah, you just trade off it. Why do you think I'm telling it to you now? Why do you think I've literally given you the formula I told you right now? Because it doesn't work. Yeah, it stopped working, I think, at the end of 2020. Yeah. Completely gone. You know? And then it stopped. And then funny, around that period of time, see, I'm not in the trading groups who were like trying to find other new things, right? You know, it was me and Matt. We tried, but like, you know, I ended up finding out later, I think like Crypto CL, you know, cat, yellow cat. Here he is, Mr. Yellow Cat, the kitty cat. He's a great trader. I think he's retired now. The way he looks at data was amazing, very unique. He would look at, say, the spread between Binance and Coinbase. He would look at different spreads between Bitcoin on the exchanges, and he got a good feel for when the big, he would call, when there's a big Coinbase whale spot seller, Bitcoin was going to do the waterfall down in that week. So he would notice, for example, that, say, Coinbase, if you look at this, I'll just give you an example, and I've just got the formula here. Coinbase Bitcoin minus Binance Bitcoin, okay? So this is like a spread. So I guess he noticed that when this thing was like trading, you know, below zero for a while, he knew that, there's been a big guy, he's starting to chew up the bids. He's starting to sell heaps of spot Bitcoin on Coinbase. So he could get an idea in the week that there's going to be weakness in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 days. And sure enough, you know, maybe he had 80% chance, odds, right? Not all the time, but like very high odds. That's why he's constantly looking for shorts. He'd be looking for the waterfall short. You see? Do you think he was going around and telling everybody about that? No. By the way, why do I know about it? It's because he comes back out of retirement. He just like gets the groove for like 1 or 2 days and just starts speaking about it. And I remember. I think this was maybe end of 2023 when I saw his tweets. You see? Is he going out? Is Kitty, Crypto Kitty, Yellow Cat, is he going around selling all these indicators? No. He traded off a man and then it stopped working. All right? But most people don't get it, you know, because, you know, I know you see a KOL, they got a smiley face and they're like, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. I get it, bro. But, you know, how ignorant are we willing to be? You think someone who just accidentally discovered crypto understands how it all works? Do you think they're like, oh no, look at this information, which is telling me that there's a 1% win rate of trading. I'm just going to conveniently ignore that, you know? You think about the absurdity of that. You see, these people, friends, they would rather tell everyone sell now immediately because they have so much PTSD from 2022, like the rest of us, okay? But, you know, they can't afford to face the crowd again because they saw how bad it was before. So now they're erring, like I said, they're erring on the side of caution. They're like, well, if I just tell them to get out and it goes down, cool. I told you, ha, ha, ha. But if it goes up, oh, I'm bullish now. I told you to get back in. And they just pretend like nothing happens because everybody gets a dopamine hit anyway. It's a win-win for them, by the way. It's a win-win, yeah. But what happens, right, as a bull market progresses is you mess with the bull, you get the horns. People remember because they remember you cost them money because things are going up because they get fear of missing out. These crypto KOLs, we don't know what euphoria is. There's no FOMO. Yeah, there's no FOMO. It's funny, all the crypto KOLs who are bearish, they're going, complacency, everybody is too complacent. That's what they're saying. Do you understand what complacency is? Complacency is when you do a big fat drop, retail buys the dip, and then retail says, last chance before the next 5x move, or last chance to get in before this rocket goes, rocket ship, get on board. That's complacency. where you're so complacent that a big fat drop has happened, but everybody's so like willing to buy the dip and say you're going to miss out. That's the lower high usually. That's at the very, very end of the moves. No one's saying that. No one. Remember, if the market goes up, they'll just say, oh, I'm bullish now. I'm bullish now. Remember, they're not held accountable for their audience, right? Because, you know, they're going to get their audience to repeatedly sell the bottoms and buy the tops and sell the bottoms and buy the tops, okay? And they'll change their words. I know, friends, we all want someone to lean on. Yeah, I wish there was someone to all the answers. It's not that easy, right? Yeah, it's just like, hey, you're a basketball player. You want one coach to tell you exactly the one move you need to practice so that you can win and take it to the top. There isn't. There isn't. We just got to accept it, okay? So the crypto bear market, friends, it could be starting now. It could. But let's not pretend all these mainstream KOLs who are calling for it, let's not pretend that they are unbiased and pure and holy. You know, we're all trying to navigate this together. We don't know. But I'll tell you something now, man. You know, I've got a feeling at the top, no one's going to be calling a top. Everyone's going to be way too scared because they're going to remember all the times they kept calling it and their audience says, oh, look at you, such an embarrassment. You cost your audience so much money and now they've wasted this whole freaking bull market and look, they just keep listening to you. You're washed up, etc., etc. Nothing you say is of value. And then it gets to them. Because remember, friends, they have a reputation to uphold. They do. That's why I don't care, bro. Zero. I'm not, what am I selling? Trading indicators. Friends, I've just shown you 2 trading indicators. Okay. The last thing you will ever do with alpha is literally give it to people. The last thing. It goes away in 2 seconds. You mine it yourself until it stops working. Private groups. What are private groups good for? If you have a cute little trading racket, you know. But the big returns in crypto are the buy and holds. And you got to keep discovering new edge in the trading thing anyway. And you got to make sure the group's not too big. What are you going to have? Like 5 or 8 people in your trading group calling out stuff? It's basically just your friends anyway. Okay, 5 or 8 people, you stop it. You're not advertising it anymore. I hope you're getting it now. I'm still long and strong, willing to go down with the ship. But yeah, I want to share this perspective with you. Okay, yeah. Bears sound real smart. But look, as we know, man, bulls make money. And pigs get slaughtered. Like, subscribe, belly button all. Catch you in the next one.